Oh, hi guys. I've got a mini album here that I did a while back, and I've never done photos and put it on my blog. So I wanted to. I'm trying to do more videos and put those on my blog. Instead of those of you who've seen my blog know that typically I do a bunch of photos and put them on my blog, and I want to kind of get away from that because it takes forever, and with my mini albums getting so thick and large, it takes a lot of photos to get it all on there. So I thought I'd try to do a video which would be quicker. This is my second video, and so I'm still kind of experimenting with angles and how I want to shoot the videos and what's easier. So bear with me while I get it worked out. This is an album that I did that has a lot of pictures that I took just from my hikes and my walks that I've done. I like to experiment with my camera, and sometimes I get lucky and I get a really good shot, and these are some of the ones that I personally like. Everybody has their own taste in photos, but when I look at it, I see something spectacular. Somebody else may not see the same thing as me, but I wanted to do an album to pull some of my favorites together so that they're there and I can look at them in a pleasing way. I am proud of this album, and I like the way that it came out. So I keep it displayed in my living room. I titled it Nature because most of these photos are taken in the woods or the mountains or hiking trails or other places that I've been. And so I decorated it, titled it, and themed it in that direction with that in mind. So the basic structure of the album is my usual, just a chipboard album with a chipboard spine. I did do 1/4-inch wells in between the pages to give me some room for my embellishments, so that the book would not become so chunky. So on the front here, I used some chipboard letters to do my title, and I cut out some objects out of my Cricut. This stump down here, this branch here, I cut out with my Cricut. These are some silk leaves. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. There we go. These are some silk leaves that I had in my stash that I just colored, and I think I put some distress ink on them. This little nest here I actually made with some raffia and twined it around, and then I cut these eggs out with my Cricut and colored them. And this little stump, when I cut it out with the Cricut, I put it in my an embossing folder. I think it's twigs or something, but it kind of looks like wood when you put it through. And then these leaves here are just some rub-ons. I also did a little bit of embossing here in the background, and you could see with a stencil. And here I just took, I got these leaves, I think I may have gotten them in the jewelry section. I'm not sure where, I don't remember, I've had them for a while. But I tied them on with some twine, and they came this way. I don't know if you can see it, but they've got a gloss coating on them, and they have a little bit of glitter underneath that gloss coating. So they're kind of interesting. But anyways, I just strung some beads on this twine, and then I wrapped it around the book and just wrapped it right around on the inside of the book and the spine. And this is my first page. These are some pictures of some flowers that I took. I think I was up in the mountains. Let me see if you can get a closer shot of this. Well, the camera's going to mess up on me. It's not going to focus for me. not going to focus. I kind of wanted you to be able to see the detail of the flowers, but the camera's not going to work for me. Maybe you can see it a little bit there. But I loved the contrast of these flowers when I took the photo, and I got a close-up of them. And the film really just doesn't do justice to the photos. But you can see here I've got a skeleton leaf. These are some shapes that I cut out with my Cricut. And just a little button there. On each page I tried to put a quote that I got from somewhere, wherever. This particular quote says, "Nature is not a place to visit, it is a home." Here is another photo that I took. And I just roughed up the paper there and did a little bit of distressing. Okay, I just had to adjust the camera just a little bit there. Tied a little bit of raffia there, cut some flowers and stuff out of the paper. I stamped those leaves there and cut those out, the fern leaves. This little squirrel I cut out with my Cricut, and I stamped it with a script stamp. And then here I have my saying. It says, "It's fun to be a little bit different in the world, to make a few new trails of your own." And this is Dennis Weaver is the author of that particular saying. This is a photo of a path. And I just love the way the trees lined the path. It just caught my eye. On this page over here, I did some pockets, used some yarn because I like the translucent fuzziness of the yarn for the bows on here. You can see it right there. And then I just stamped the words lush, fresh, and green, and titled it Earth. And I cut that out with my Cricut and put a vellum flower behind it. And then these are my photos. Camera just will not focus for me. Okay, that's nice. Huh. Again, not going to work. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. And that is by Mahatma Gandhi. On the back of the tags, or the photo mats, I just stamped used some of my leaf stamps. And then a background stamp on that one. Next page. This is a picture of a reflection in the water. And I titled this page Reflections. I have a snakeskin stamp. I stamped on this piece of paper and tore it, and then tied a little tiny bit of twine around it with a stamped button. These leaves I made myself. And that's another stamped button right there. Let's see if I can get you a close-up of this photo. I really wish that this camera would focus on these photos. It's trying. Oh well. My next page, this is a photo of a little duck that I took. I think this was at the end of a trail up in the mountains. There was a pond there, and there were some little white ducks there. And I titled this page "Keep It Wild." I used some vellum over here on this border, painted it with some Mod Podge, kind of gave it a almost a plasticky look. Well, my intention was for it to be a wet look, but that didn't happen. And then I printed some of these cattails from my cricket. More photo, another trail on this. And I made a pocket here, and this contains another photo. Same thing, another picture of a trail. I think those were in the mountains. And the saying that I have on this one is, take only memories, leave nothing but footprints. Drew that on the back of the photo mat. And I have a little vellum pocket here, and just some cutouts from the paper. This is also cutouts from the paper. I just made a little flower there with a fern leaf. These are photos that I took of a turtle at a nature preserve. I got some little silk flowers over here as a border down the side. And then here I have just a flip up folder. This says awareness that I hand wrote here in the front of the folder. And I hand drew Now I colored that in with my colored pencils. I believe it was something that I printed off of my computer, but it was just an outline, and then I used my colored pencils to color it in, and put a little silk flower down here in the corner. And then there's more photos of the turtle and a flower that I cut out, and the same down there, a flower and a leaf that I cut out. He was pretty big turtle, but I couldn't get close enough really to show his relative size. Here I have a photo of some ferns that I took, and what I've done is I've made a pocket behind this photo mat, actually 3 pockets, and each pocket holds a tag with another photo of ferns that I took, and then on the back I just stamped the word thrive on the paper along with some leaves. This one is not a photo. This one has the saying. I put some little leaves up on the top as photo tabs, or as tag tabs. tabs so you can pull the tag out. I stamped the word fern on the back and some more leaves. And this saying says, I come from haunts of coot and hern. I make a sudden sally and sparkle out among the fern to bicker down a valley. And that was by Tennyson. And then finally I've got another fern photo down here. And again on the back I stamped grow and some more leaves. On this side of the album I have a picture of a dragonfly that I took. One of those photos that I got really lucky. See his little dragonfly face? So cute. And on here I used a template that I have, and I put some molding paste on here, and then once I was finished, once it dried, I used a template around the dragonfly, and also this flower up here. I put a template over it and I sprayed some mist on it, and that's how I got that shape. And then I just took one of my pens and went around the shape to make it look as if there was some stitching around the shape. And then I cut this out right here from my Cricut as a mat, and then I popped my photo up with some dimensional tape, and over here I put a wooden button, and this is my saying here. It says, clouds of insects danced and buzzed in the golden autumn light, and the air was full of the piping of the songbirds. Long glinting dragonflies shot across the path or hung tremulous with gauzy wings and gleaming bodies. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay, moving along. This is a page that I titled Renewal. The reason that I did that is because this is a photo of some dead branches intermingled with some green vines. And to me, it signified the renewal of something that has died, and pretty much that's how nature is. It's in constant renewal. So I tore the paper here and here and inserted the photo in between, and then distressed it, and I have some ribbon vines that I used to go from the top to the bottom of the page, and then I have a little vellum button here that I stamped with some Stays On ink and tied some twine in it. And this kind of went along with the whole theme, the torn paper and the distressing paper. Over here I have a photo of some berries that I took, and I don't remember where I was when I took them. So I kind of I cut this out with these two out with my Cricut. I put a little piece of twine in the bird's mouth, and then just a little cutout up here. This was part of the paper. And then I stamped Love Beauty and hung a little black crystal bead right next to the title. Okay. My next page, these are some butterflies. I think these butterflies were mating. They were on the ground flying around each other, or at least trying to mate, or getting ready to mate, or just getting finished mating. But you can see there's two of them there, and I happened along just at the moment when they were engaged in this activity, so I was able to get some really good photos of them. without having them fly off on me. So I made a little tulle flower down here, little yellow flower. One of my labels there, I put my saying on. This right here behind, this black flower here behind the label is a rub-on. And these little leaves here and flowers are just cutouts and punchies. And I put some little buttons in between, in the middle of the flowers. And my saying says, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Here we have my next page, and you can see the photo here is again another photo that's similar to that other trail that I took before with the black trees coming up each side, or the dark trunks. These are some stickers. I made a little vellum envelope with just some stamping on what a little postcard that I made on craft paper, and then this is a sticker border of trees. And then behind here is a tag that has another picture on it. But in the meantime, this opens up as a book, and you can see more pictures of the trees that I took. And again, the trail. This is some trim that I have that's got words on it. It says journey, adventure, travel, and then this little piece of ribbon down here has like little boot prints stamped on it, like, you know, hiking, as if you were hiking. And then this little tag says journey, which I thought was appropriate for the photos that I have on this page showing trails. And then the saying that I have for this is, trees are poems that the earth writes upon the sky. The author is Khalil Gibran from Sand and Foam. And my next page is entitled Refreshing. I have a transparency here that I layered over top of this label that has the title is cut out from my Cricut, and I did some stitching, hand stitching around this label, and then behind the transparency you can see where I have done some stamping with some of my twig stamps and vine stamps that I have. And then in the top I've made this into a pocket, and up here I have 3 tags. These tags, I did some stamping. They're made out of craft, and what they are really is photo mats, and I made them out of craft, and I did some stamping on them. And then over the top I used an embossing folder with white paint, and I used the embossing folder to stamp with. And then I made some leaves up here with some baker's twine for a tab. And then on the back is my photo. And again, this is a photo of water. I'm trying to see if I got, yeah, that's right side up, just like that. It's a reflection, it's a photo of a reflection of the trees in the water. And right here you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a ripple in the water. And that's how you can tell that it's a reflection. But that's why I use the word refreshing, because all of these are photos of water that I have taken. There's one there. The foreground, the little weeds in the foreground are kind of in focus, and the ripple in the water behind it is out of focus. Love that photo. And then this is like a close-up of some rocks up in the mountains that I took with the water running over the rocks. and we're not getting a very good picture here of it because the camera just doesn't do the photo justice. It's something you really have to see in person to appreciate. And then up here I wrote my little quote. It says, "Water is the driving force of all nature," and the author of that is Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, my next page is titled Field Notes, and what I've done with this page is I've got my 2 photos here, just pictures of vegetation that I took, interesting patterns in the vegetation that I thought was striking. And I've basically gone online to see kind of what field notes actually look like, and I actually Googled field notes, and I kind of copied something. I kind of copied the style of the writing from the field notes, and I've written here, most common plant, good texture, long leaves, just silly stuff that doesn't really mean anything, but it's kind of scribbled in the way that somebody would be writing in their field note journal. And I've got my journaling here says 2011 journal, because I took these photos in 2011. Calusa Nature Preserve. I've titled it brush, and then written the word green and circled it, and then grass, species, grass. So you could see that, but and then my next photo, my next book is titled Beauty, and it's a photo of some peeling bark on a tree. It kind of had some purplish hues in it, so I used some purple and dark purplish brown on this page, and it really enhanced the photo a lot. So I didn't really have a saying for that. The next one is a photo of a salamander that I took up in the mountains, and I've put some leaves that I cut out tucked underneath the photo along the side there, and then I have my saying in a frame down below. And this is a button. Actually, that button is stamped, and I cut it out, and I gave it some texture and dimension by sewing on it. And I sewed all those little stitches around the button and gave it some dimension. And then all of this is just the fiber from the string. And more these leaves were stamped on vellum and cut out, as were these, also stamped on vellum and cut out. And then my quote on this one says, "Rest is not idleness, and to lie sometimes on the grass under trees on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of water or watching the clouds float across the sky is by no means a waste of time." And the author is John Lubbock. I've made a little tag in here, kind of given it a postcard type feel with another interesting photo that I took of some weeds. But I love the contrast, the white sand, the dark dead grass underneath, and then the fresh green stuff just growing right along the top. And of course, you can't see the sharpness of the photo on this camera, but it really just something you have to see in person to appreciate. More ducks. This next one, I've titled this Our Feathered Friends, And I've actually put some fabric. I made some fabric photo corners with wooden buttons. I made some more flour out of tulle that I colored dark green. And I made some fabric leaves that I sewed some veins into with my sewing machine. And you can see where I have sewed around the edges of that photo mat. And sewed on the corners of the photo corners. So, trying to get some use out of my sewing machine. And of course the photos, more photos of the ducks. Okay, the next page, another beautiful photo, I think. I love it. The dark bark of the tree with the red and green leaves that are vining up the side of it. And then of course, you know, I feel like I just got a lucky shot there. My camera was just focused perfectly at that moment, and everything just was picture perfect. Down here, this is just a medallion that I cut out with my Cricut, colored the leaves with my colored pencil, and then layered the paper and popped it up with some dimensional adhesive. Down here, some stamping that I did with my my Inka Dinka Doo stamping gear. And then of course the mats and everything I cut out from the Cricut, and I titled this page Alive. Used one of my labels that I have that came in a package. My next page is called Protect. I have a photo here of a, I guess it's just a reservoir along a trail that is holding water, probably just rainwater. There's a dragonfly that I've cut out and put here. And then I've made a little pocket with this chipboard piece that I covered with paper. And here's the tag. It has another photo. This is, I think it's of a waterfall, a small waterfall. I'm not sure where that water's coming from. I don't think I'm in the mountains. I believe I'm in Florida here because there's a palm tree. So this could be a man-made fountain. I don't know. I mean, a man-made waterfall. Because we don't typically have stuff like that in Florida naturally. I mean, I'm sure we do in some places near springs, but it's either man-made or man-manipulated. And then I embossed the back and did some inking on the back of that tag and tied a little piece of twine on there. So it says Protect, and then down here I've stamped and Preserve. Here is another one of my favorite photos I took. This was also up in the mountains. I love the contrast of that dark trunk of that tree going up in the middle of those flowers, and the shape of that trunk, just the whole picture, the way it was set up, it just was perfect. It was just a perfect shot. And then you can see on the photo here where I have used a paintbrush and some white paint to paint in nature. Then I have a little silk rose down here with some leaves. I made all of these leaves and tucked them into this lattice mat that I cut using my Cricut, and then I did two-toned leaves and tucked them all into that and popped it all up on some dimensional adhesive. And then at the bottom I cut out the title, and I just harmony twice with my little fox that I also cut with the Cricut. Okay, sorry about that. Somebody was at my front door. So almost finished here. This next page, love this photo too. I named this page Serenity. That's kind of how I feel when I look at this photo. The foliage that I took this photo of is very delicate and dainty. It's very in focus. The background's very out of focus. Love the depth of field in this photo. Love the lighting in the photo, the way the light's hitting the branches. Love it. Also, I love owls. So I cut these owls out and made like a little cabochon, paper cabochon on here. And I also made an embellishment down here. I cut this out. I put some little tiny jump rings in here at the very top. And then I covered this piece with glossy accents to give it that look of acrylic, or what you call those little puffy stickers. So the next page is titled Earth is a Gift. I cut this out, this mat that it's on. I cut that out. You can see the little flower there that I kept on the paper. And then I cut, I don't know if, I'm not real sure how I did this title. It's not cut from the Cricut. I think I might have used a template or something and drew it and then cut it out. Love this photo of this downed tree trunk. Love the contrast of the dark tree trunk with the lighter colored foliage in the background. Here I just did kind of a layering effect on this page. I took some of this dark paper here, and I did like a I don't even know what you call it. It's like a lattice work, a weave, maybe like a basket weave with this dark paper, and it really looks like it's made of wood for some reason. I don't know, but I really love how it came out. And then I have some ribbon down here that I've stapled on. I have a leaf here that I cut out, popped it up with some dimensional adhesive, and tied some twine around it. And then a little embellishment there with an acorn on it, and another ribbon that I've stapled. And you can see some of the layering I did with some of the cutouts from the paper line. And the saying on this is, I believe in God, only I spell it nature. And the author of that is Frank Lloyd Wright. And Frank Lloyd Wright was an architect. The next page, this is a very different kind of photo. Love it. I love looking at it. I named this page Strength, and the reason that I named this page Strength is because when you look at this photo, you see branches with dead leaves hanging down, a very dark tree in the background. Everything's dead except for the little daisy weed that's growing up in the middle of all this dead stuff. And it just, the whole composition reminded me of the word strength. And that's why I named this Strength. And then I have my little saying at the bottom. These flowers here, I have some leaf ribbon, and it's black. And I cut the leaves off. And underneath the black leaves is a rub-on, is a flower rub-on. That whole flower right there is a rub-on. And then I glued those leaves to the flower petals of the rub-on and put a bling in the middle. And then I did the same over here. This has a black leather flower, and the black leaf ribbon as a stem. And the saying on this goes like this: those who contemplate the beauty of earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after winter. And the author is Rachel Carson. Okay. Next page I named Free. And you can see the photo there. Crazy trunk, growing weird. Love the shape. And I did some sewing on this page. You can see where I did kind of like a quilted patchwork. This is canvas here, and the rest of the squares are all paper. And then I made a tag that fits into the top, and I did some stamping on the back of the tag, and then I have my quote on the other side. And my quote says, "Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty." Albert Einstein. And then last but not least, another photo. I did not title this page. I do have a quote. The photo is of a whole bunch of dead twigs and bushes. And I'm not even going to try because the camera is not going to do justice. I found some of these twigs actually out in the yard, and I tied it with some netted ribbon and some twine, and just made like a little embellishment there with a silk leaf. And these are some chipboard elements right here with a little button, and then just some layering of some stuff that I cut out. The quote says, "The earth has music for those who listen," and George Santayana is the author of that one. And that's it. End of the book. Same as the cover. There's the back. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.